listening to the Good Stuff Podcast with your host, C.K. Helms.
All right, everybody. We're back on the Good Stuff Podcast, episode 8. Episode 8, guys, and it's the Valentine's Day episode. I guess when this one goes out to all the lovers out there, all those people celebrating Valentine's Day today. And if you're not celebrating Valentine's Day, that's cool. I mean, shout out to all the single people. And that was a fun time back then. But yeah, Valentine's Day. Hopefully you're not listening to the Good Stuff Podcast on Valentine's Day and you have a date, unless you and your date are listening to the Good Stuff Podcast today. And that's good stuff. Awesome. But yeah, I want to thank you for tuning in to today's episode, which is brought to you by Blind Bandit Productions. Each and every episode of the Good Stuff Podcast is brought to you by Blind Bandit Productions. And we got some exciting things coming from Blind Bandit Productions. It's a project in the future. I'm not going to speak too much about it, but I had a poll on the Facebook page, and if you saw it, then you may know what the project will entail. But it's a little more than that, and it involves something from my past that I have talked about before, and I wanted to do and wasn't able to do, but now I'm going to do it in a different way. But that's all I'm going to say about that. But if you've been following me for a really long time and see the things I've done, then you could probably guess what that project was. But if you haven't known me for a really long time, then you may not know the project. But it's going to be cool. It's going to be fun. But we'll talk more about it on future episodes of the Good Stuff Podcast. But yeah, guys, man, it's been a good week. It's been fun, much like every week. Tons of good stuff happening out there in the world. Let's see here. We got some news for you today. Tons of news and stuff have happened over the last time that we had an episode, which was last week, every Thursday. Speaking of episodes, I guess I totally forgot to mention all the things that you can find us on, formats you can find us on: Spotify, iTunes, Stitcher, Google Podcast, YouTube, and of course Podbean. And whichever way that you listen to podcasts or music, you can find us on, unless you use Pandora or iHeartRadio. We're not on there quite yet because you have to do so many episodes, as I've said before, but we're going to be on there in the future. So wherever you listen to music, apps on your phone or anything like that, you'll be able to find the Good Stuff Podcast there eventually. But yeah, thanks for tuning in. And if you don't mind taking a few minutes, go to whatever place that you listen to, or even my Facebook page, facebook.com/The Good Stuff Podcast. On there, it's Good Stuff Podcast everywhere else, but the Facebook page is The Good Stuff Podcast. And leave me a review. Let us know what you think. Let us know what else you want to see us talk about on the show. If you want to be a guest on the show, you can message us on the Facebook page or email goodstuffpodcast@yahoo.com. Anybody can be on here. If you do something entertainment-wise or do something any indie talent-wise, you can be on the show. Well, I'll interview you. Or if you just want to be on the show as a guest and talk about stuff with me, like co-host an episode with me, we can do that. It doesn't really matter. I will take anybody. All you have to do is message. And so, yeah, fun times, though. Getting back in the news, though, as I was saying, tons of things have happened. I think I want to start off here with Aquaman 2 officially in development. Now, with Aquaman, the first movie being such a huge hit, I guess everybody could have guessed that Aquaman 2 was going to happen, and there was rumors of it going to be happening. But now, officially, Aquaman 2 in development, script being worked on, and whether James Wan comes back and, is this his last name? Wan, something like that. Whether he comes back and direct, I'm not really for certain, because he said something about not wanting to do a sequel, or I don't know exactly what his words are. I don't want to say whatever he said. But Aquaman 2 is coming. Speaking of Aquaman, don't forget the digital release of the first film. It's March 5th, digital, and then 26th for the DVD. And included on that is a sneak peek at the Shazam movie. Shazam! Oh, okay, I feel like I'm saying it all weird every time I say that. I don't know why. Something about it, when it rolls off the tongue, it sounds weird to me. But yeah, one of my top 5 favorite movies of 2019 is going to be Shazam. which I talked about the second episode, third episode, whichever the top 2019 picks. Go back and check that out for me. But yeah, Gotham, the finale of Gotham, 13 episodes last season, is getting here close, and don't think they have but like 7 episodes. They're on a break right now, and 7 episodes left, I think. I'm pretty certain it's 7. But the last episode, they're talking about the finale now. Interviews and stuff like that have been talked about the finale, and come to find out, the final episode is going to be very heavy Batman. They're not going to take the Smallville route, which you saw Superman in there for like 2 seconds in the finale of Smallville, but Gotham is like, no, we're not going to do that. We're giving you all Batman. There's literally, the first scene is the current timeline of where they are now, and then the whole rest of the entire episode of the finale is 10 years in the future. And so you're going to get to see Batman all the time. There will be a different person playing Batman, not the kid that plays Bruce Wayne on the show. His face and his voice will be used for like scenes where it's up close and Batman's talking, and you see his face. They're gonna like digitally put it on the face, but the actor will be a person that can physically be Batman 10 years in the future. So yeah, that's pretty cool. We're gonna see a portly Penguin. Penguin's gonna be fat, like Penguin should be, and so we'll be able to see that in the Gotham finale. And I'm just excited to see what's going to happen. I know that Cameron Monaghan, who plays Jeremiah Valeska, which is their proto-Joker, said that he gets to do some stuff in the finale, and he's really excited about it. And so I'm just wondering if Jeremiah is the Joker now, if they're going to go back and make him the Joker, because they said that it was like inspired, that he's an inspiration for the Joker. Yeah, Jeremiah. Then, I can't even remember what his brother's name was. Jerome. Jeez, I don't know why that escaped my head there for a second. But yeah, excited to see that. Ready for that. As I said before, I've talked about Gotham on the show. I wasn't a really big fan of it when it first came out, but I got through the first season. Like once you get through like the first half of the first season, then it was like it started being good, and then the second season was amazing when they brought Cameron Monaghan on there, and as Jerome, and it's just gotten better. And you just gotta take yourself out of it, because all these villains are before Batman, which it's opposite of comics. Batman came first, and then all these supervillains came, and so is Batman making these supervillains, and Gotham does it a little different, as the supervillains are already there. But I look at it as an alternate universe, and that's what you got to do, and just stop all the hating on stuff. I feel if you take yourself out of that and just realize that this is an alternate universe, and not to be upset over it, you can enjoy things so much better. And so Gotham is great for what it is, that alternate universe take on the Batman mythos. So as a person that makes a Batman show himself, who designed a web series called Gotham Knights, which you can find on Facebook, facebook.com/Gotham Knights Show, or YouTube, the same. I gotta like the other alternate takes on Batman. So yeah, though my Batman show plays a little bit more to the comics, but hey. Anyways, moving on to the news. Let's see, guys. We talked about Mortal Kombat 11 a few times on this podcast, which is coming out April 22nd, I believe. And we've talked about when it first got announced, and then last week we talked about new characters being added, like Cabal, Kano, and Devora. And today, more news. The makers of Mortal Kombat, Ed Boon and NetherRealm, have said that Shaggy from Scooby-Doo will not be included in Mortal Kombat 11. Now, if you haven't heard about this, you're probably thinking, CK, what are you talking about? Shaggy in Mortal Kombat 11? Question mark? Yeah. So apparently there's this huge internet meme thing with Shaggy basically being like a godlike thing. And they wanted him to be in the Ultimate Fighter, and they started a petition to get him in Mortal Kombat 11. I don't really understand it. I don't know where it came from. I'm not really for certain. It just came out of nowhere, and it just blew up as this huge thing. And people wanted Shaggy to be in Mortal Kombat 11 as a DLC character. And NetherRealm finally, they kind of played around with it on Twitter for a while, and was like making jokes about it and posting stuff. And Ed Boon did some art and stuff like that. But they've gone on record now saying that Shaggy's not coming to Mortal Kombat 11, and I breathe a huge sigh of relief, because God, how stupid would that be to have Shaggy from Scooby-Doo on Mortal Kombat 11? Seriously, guys, your stupidity sometimes amazes me whenever you come out with this stuff on the internet. But whatever, more to you, but I'm glad Shaggy's not being brought in to Mortal Kombat 11. Moving on, though, Aladdin, the movie that is causing so much controversy, on the live-action remake of Aladdin, with the genie, Will Smith. We have talked about it on the show of whenever the trailer that came out, and then they showed him as the genie, and he was a normal human, and people started freaking out because it looked just like Will Smith in genie clothes, and people were freaked out because he's not blue. And then Will Smith had to be like, you guys, 90% of the movie he's blue, just this is his like a blend-in mode whenever he's in a human. We finally got to see a CGI version of the genie from Aladdin, Will Smith being the genie, and people are freaking out now about that and just saying that it looked bad and stuff like that. Guys, as Craig, my buddy Craig Lentz, said on his Facebook, remember in the Marvel Infinity War trailers when people were complaining about Thanos CGI and making memes and stuff about it, and then when the movie came out, nobody talked about that anymore. He looked awesome in the movie, and I'm pretty certain Infinity War was an amazing movie that people still talk about to this day, constantly. So why don't we just wait and see it before we make our judgment? Because the internet's like, no, we don't want to watch stuff. We just want to complain about it. Well, internet, please shut your stupid mouths. Please. God, I could go on about people hating on stuff just to hate on stuff on the internet, but then I'd be doing a Lance rants, and I don't want to do that right now. I call those CK sound offs, by the way, and maybe I used to write, and when I did articles for my own blog and stuff like that, and I had a few CK sound offs. I may bring that back just so I can rant about stuff, and yeah. But I'm going to wait and see, hold out my judgment for the movie, and please, guys, also stop using Robin Williams as your scapegoat for your hate, okay? Let's not disgrace the man who's deceased just because you want to use him as a valid argument point. I mean, I'm pretty certain that he knows how Hollywood works, and I'm sure he's not turning over in his grave over Will Smith being the genie, okay? All right. Well, Marvel and Hulu have announced a new partnership of animated shows coming to Hulu, and there's 5 shows. 4 of them are single hero shows, and then a team-up show, much like their Marvel Netflix shows that were, you got to see Iron Fist and Luke Cage and Daredevil and whatever. Totally blew my mind. Jessica Jones. Then you got to saw the Defenders. Well, in the Marvel's animated series on Hulu, we're going to get Marvel's Howard the Duck, MODOK, Hip Monkey, and Tigra and Dazzler. Tiger and Dazzler on one show. And then all those people will team up to save the universe in Marvel's The Offenders. The Offenders, guys. You know, play off of the Defenders. But yeah, so all those people have to team up for some reason and save the universe. And we'll see the build-up in the other shows, and then see the Offenders. I'm excited. Howard the Duck, awesome. MODOK, awesome villain. I don't know anything about Hip Monkey and Tiger and Dazzler, But I'm excited for more Marvel stuff, more animated. I like animated stuff, so I can't wait to see that. Speaking of animated, the Frozen 2 trailer just dropped yesterday, February the 13th. And poster came out. The movie comes out in November. I believe this is the first theatrical release that's a sequel to a Disney princess movie. I'm pretty certain on that. I mean, of course, they've had like Cinderella 2 and other ones like Beauty and the Beast 2 and stuff like that. But those were straight to DVD. In fact, they were made by a different animation studio besides the normal Disney animation studio. It was like it was still Disney, but it was like Disney Toons Animation Studio, and that's why they were straight to DVD. But now Frozen 2 is coming out, and I believe they closed that Disney Toons studio. Yeah, you probably didn't know all that information, a little trivia for you. But anyway, yeah, Frozen 2, I'm excited. There was no talking in it, just a bunch of stuff going on. Looks like Elsa's learning her powers more, and looks like they go on a trip. I'm going to assume they're going to find out origins of Elsa's powers. We see a new girl in there. We see a boy in there. Seems like the girl may have elemental powers like Elsa's, but hers is the wind. So there's speculation on the internet that the poster is a snowflake and has like 4 points on it, and people are like 4 little diamonds, and people are saying that for this 4 seasons that Elsa represents the winter, that girl is going to have wind powers to represent the fall, and so then we're going to see a spring and summer elemental power person. And I think they showed like some fire in the trailer. If you go back and watch all these little tidbits, I mean, you really have to notice all this stuff. And the fire is like, I guess, would be summer, and then I guess there'll be somebody that is spring as well. But of course, that's just rumor, speculation based on what people saw in the trailer. You go watch the trailer now. I'm sure you've seen it. If not, check it out on YouTube, Frozen 2 trailer, and make your own judgment. But yeah, so what I thought was going to be the weirdest news yesterday that I got was they're making a Batman/Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle animated movie. Now, in case you didn't know that was a 2015 crossover comic book from James Tynion IV and Freddie Williams. They made the comic book crossover series, Batman and Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, and I just did not think that would become an animated film. I guess I was surprised by that. I mean, it got rave reviews. I mean, it's James Tynion IV. Back in the day of 2015, back in the day, 4 years ago, and I didn't see that becoming an animated film, but DC loves their Batman and their animated versions of Batman, so I guess it's not too much a surprise of if they're one of the crossover movie is going to get an animated treatment, it would be Batman. But I don't know. And so that was my most shocking news of the day. Until yesterday, on February 13th, the Nintendo Direct, they had a Nintendo Direct thing Nintendo did. It's kind of like their own little mini conference where they announce a bunch of stuff. Then Nintendo announced Tetris 99, which is out now. You can get on the Nintendo Switch. It's a battle royale game. You know, battle royale, or the huge genre of games that have been coming out, and like Call of Duty Black Ops 4 had the blackout mode. You got PUBG, Fortnite, those games. Apex Legends just came out last week. Tetris now has a battle royale game. It's called Tetris 99, which you can download right now on your Nintendo Switch, Sean. Sorry. I'm sure other people listen to this podcast. But Tetris 99 that have Switch. Tetris 99, a Tetris battle royale game. I didn't really look much into it, but apparently what happens is you play against somebody in Tetris, and then they lose, and then you play against other people to eventually, I guess it's like a gauntlet game or something, I don't know, or a tournament of sorts with like 100 people. I don't know. You're playing against 99 other players to win in Tetris. Amazing. But other things that was announced in the Nintendo, that was probably the most surprising news of the day yesterday, but other things that were announced in Nintendo Direct were a remake of Assassin's Creed 3, and all the DLC that came with that, Assassin's Creed Liberation, that will be made into a remastered version on the Nintendo Switch. weird that they're doing that Assassin's Creed, because Assassin's Creed 3 was the worst Assassin's Creed in my mind, but hey, more to you. They're also remaking the game Zelda's Awakening, and that's interesting. You can look these up on the Nintendo YouTube page probably. And then they're also making a sequel to Super Mario Maker 2, and that's coming out. And they believe they put out release windows for some other games like Fire Emblem game, and then I can't remember what else. But you can check all the news on IGN. Has a page that lists an entire page, which I think I've shared it at 2:00 today on the Good Stuff Podcast Facebook page, so you can go look and see where I clicked. You can click on it, and you can go there and see everything that was announced in the Nintendo Direct from yesterday. But yeah, moving on, guys. Releases. That's where we're at now. DVD next week, the 19th. You can get A Star Is Born, Robin Hood, and Overlord, or as I commonly like to refer to it as Call of Duty Nazi Zombies, the movie. I haven't seen Overlord. Just with a trailer, I was like, zombie Nazis? It's like Call of Duty. I haven't seen the movie. I don't know. But yeah. All three of those movies. Stars Born, that Lady Gaga and Bradley Cooper movie. You can see Bradley Cooper sing. That's cool. Lady Gaga, she's awesome. So yeah, but if you like to see your movies in the theater, I got those releases too. In fact, today, February the 14th, is when we're getting our major releases for this week. Not on Friday, because today's Valentine's Day, and so people were like, hey, people may go to the movies, so we probably should release our movies on February the 14th. Alita, Battle Angel? Is that what that? I'm probably pronouncing it wrong. Feel free to let me know I am pronouncing this wrong. Alita, Battle Angel. I believe it was a manga, and that's getting Robert Rodriguez made that movie, I believe. And so that's getting the big screen treatment. And then Fighting With My Family, a documentary type thing, sort of, not really. It's the wrestler Paige. This movie is made about her life by I believe The Rock. Dwayne Johnson is the executive producer on the movie. He's in the movie as well, and so you get to see him in the movie. But it's about Paige's life, and because her story is really interesting, and he did a little tidbit about her life is, one, she's a wrestler. She doesn't wrestle anymore. She had to retire due to a neck injury, and her story to get there to become a wrestler is a huge thing. I believe she's from like Liverpool or something like that. She's from England. I know that. Her mother was a wrestler, and her mom wrestled in a match when she was pregnant with Paige. So Paige has basically been wrestling since she was in the womb. Her mom didn't know she was pregnant, but she wrestled a match and then found out she was pregnant sometime after that. So that I always thought that was interesting, that she's literally been wrestling since she was in the womb. So that's kind of cool. I mean, it's in her blood, really. So I'm excited about seeing Fighting With My Family. I don't know much about that. I'm not even going to pronounce it again. That Battle Angel movie, and but it seems pretty cool. Trailers and stuff. I never read the manga or know much about it, but it seems pretty interesting. Plus, what's that dude's name? I can't remember that name. That was in Luke Cage. He's in it. Something Ali, I think. I'm sure somebody's going to be like, really? But anyways, video games, guys. I told you last week that the video game release schedule was really thin, because this week was going to be huge, and I am correct on that, because tomorrow, February 15th, Friday, you're getting so many releases. You're getting Crackdown 3, finally is being released. You can get it on Xbox One and PC, and also if you have the Xbox Game Pass subscription, you can play that with your, you don't have to buy the game because you get to play it for free. Well, you pay for it $10 a month for a Game Pass, but God, you get tons of games on that thing, so good deal for the Xbox players. It has campaign mode, and then the multiplayer is cloud based. because you can do damage to pretty much everything. That you can destroy buildings and stuff, and to keep up with that much damage and stuff, they run off a cloud server, and so that's what took so long for the game to come out. But also coming out is Far Cry New Dawn, which was one of mine and Zach, my producer's, favorite games for 2019. It's coming out on PS4, Xbox One, and PC. It is a sequel to Far Cry 5, set 17 years after the ending of Far Cry 5 in Hope County, Montana. So excited about that? Me, yes. Jump Force is coming out, which we've talked about, some characters that appeared on there. It's a fighting game with all those like manga characters, like from One Piece and Dragon Ball and other mangas and stuff. Drawing a blank here. My Hero Academia, Yu-Gi-Oh! Other, like Japanese manga characters are going to be in this fighting game, like Mortal Kombat sort of, or Injustice, but with all those manga type characters. That comes out on Xbox, PS4, and PC on the 15th, tomorrow. And then we have Metro Exodus, the latest game in the Metro series, comes out for Xbox One, PS4, and PC as well. I've heard great things about that. It's a shooting game, and I've never played the original other two Metro, and then Metro Last Light. I believe that was the names. I didn't even write that down, guys. And that was just memory right there. And next week, we got one big release. But if you have early access for this game, if you have the EA Origin on PC subscription or EA Access on consoles, you can play Anthem, which comes out next week on the 22nd, which I will mention on next week's episode. But yeah, if you have one of those subscriptions, you can play Anthem a whole week early, starting tomorrow on the 15th. Whew. All right. Moving right along. All right, guys. Well, here we are. And, okay, guys, I'm going to need you to, whatever you're doing right now, I need you to stop whatever you're doing and just listen to me. And I need you to take your hands, and I need you to get a drum roll here. Go ahead and start a drum roll. Beat on whatever's in front of you, like a desk or whatever you're doing. If you're standing and there's someone in front of you, beat on the back of their head, because this drum roll is really important. So I'll give you a second to get that drum roll going. You got it? Good? Okay. All right. A little bit longer for the ones beating on someone's head. Okay, and here she is, everybody. Lacey, my wife. Hey, baby.
Hi.
How are you? What? You're just looking at me like, what? Was it because of the drum roll intro? Did it throw you off?
No, I did not.
You looked at me like, but you looked at me after I started talking like I was stupid or something.
Because sometimes you are.
But you married me. So the old saying goes, who's dumber, the idiot or the person who marries them?
You are.
Okay. We'll just go with that. Yeah. I'll let you win because you came on the podcast. Are you excited about being on the podcast?
I don't know what to expect.
Well, we're just going to talk about us and other things. And then we're just going to, people are going to listen. Did you even know what a podcast was before I started doing this?
Yes.
Have you ever listened to any podcast?
I've tried listening to yours. It doesn't work for me.
Well, at least you're honest about it. How long did you listen to the one episode that you listened to?
About 5 minutes.
So this is whatever episode this is now, 8. And out of 8 episodes, roughly, let's just say an hour to hour and a half each, you've only listened to 5 minutes.
That's correct.
That's true love, ladies and gentlemen. True love here. But anyways, at least I was able to convince you to come on here. And I didn't have to beg, correct?
What? Why did you say it like that?
I'm just saying, you just willingly came on here. It's not like I had to beg you 100 times. I literally just said, hey, will you do my Valentine's Day episode? And you said, okay.
In a few more words than that, yeah, I guess.
Okay. I'm sure there'll be at least one person that was like, he just begged her repeatedly, and I just want to prove them wrong. So that's what I did. Okay. So this is just a podcast, and people on podcasts, they really just talk about stuff. Okay. have you listened to any podcasts besides? Oh no, you said I heard you say that. I was listening. But anyways, so basically on podcast, just people talk the entire time. It's like when you listen to the radio in the morning, you listen to Alice 107.7 now.
No, I always talk to you.
Oh yes, that is correct. We talk on the phone the entire time. Anyways, I knew that. But on the radio whenever they're talking and stuff like that. So a podcast is just basically all that. Just it's like people on the radio, but no music. And so every podcast has like a genre or something that they talk about. My podcast is about entertainment, nerd stuff, the stuff that I'm into. So that's what we're doing today. Well, today it's Valentine's Day. If you're listening to it on Valentine's Day, maybe another day. But the day that we're recording, this show comes out is Valentine's Day. Are you excited about Valentine's Day?
Not really.
We're not one of those couples that really get excited about Valentine's Day. It's more like a love each other every day kind of thing, right?
Yes.
We have big plans for Valentine's Day. We're gonna sit at home?
Yep, we'll have the kids.
Yes, married life with children, and did we even buy each other? Did we buy each other stuff for Valentine's Day last year?
Don't remember.
You are so good with these answers. I just feel like it's a bunch of me talking.
I don't remember.
That is correct. You were pregnant with Phoenix. I talk about Phoenix on the podcast. Did you know that?
Nope. Remember, I've only listened to 5 minutes of a podcast. I don't know what you've talked about, really.
I'm just trying to keep the timer going. So, anyway, but yeah, I talk about Phoenix, and you're her mother. That's correct, right?
Well, I'd hope so, considering I just said I was pregnant with her last year.
Yes, brilliant deduction. I don't know. Don't call me stupid in front of my friends. Listeners.
I know what the true relationship is for us.
That's why we're here today. That's why we're here today, to talk about the truth of our relationship. So let's start at the beginning of our relationship, I guess. Or how we started knowing each other. How long have you known me?
10 plus years.
And how do you know me? Have we been dating for 10 plus years?
No, I'd probably strangle you by then, but...
Good to know for the future. So, I got a good 6 years before I get strangled. So...
6 years?
Well, I said 10... You said... No. Look, so what you said is that 10 years I would have been strangled, right? So, I said 6 because I'd be strangled before the 10th year, which would be 7 years from now.
Why would you be strangled before the 10th year? I said, if I knew you for 10 years, you'd probably be strangled.
If we're dating.
If we were dating. My bad.
It's all good. So anyway, go back to so we've known each other for 10 plus years. How do we know each other?
Through your sisters?
You were friends with them?
Yeah, that's what I mean by through your sisters.
And did you know that they had a brother at the time that you started being friends with my sisters?
No, it took a couple of years.
A couple of years?
Yes.
What? That is ridiculous. I know this stuff. I'm just going to act like I don't. But yeah, so my sisters did not tell Lacey or anybody that they had a brother. They kind of leave that information out for some reason, even though we're only 20 months apart. So that's how you met me. What can you...
Because you are different.
That could be. I'm a nerd. They're not. They're like those popular kids in school, and I sit at a table by myself sometimes.
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay, whatever. I got friends now, so whatever. I don't know their names, but anyways.
You don't know your friends' names.
It was a joke. I was trying to burn myself there. Get a few pity laughs on the podcast. Someone listen to it and chuckle while they're doing a bicycle thing at a gym or something, I'm assuming that's where people listen to me, at the gym or something, I don't know. I listened to podcasts at work when I worked. The podcast people know about my health issues.
Oh, do they?
Yes, because I have a lot of time to fill. I got stuff to talk about. So I just assume that the people care about me. If they're taking time to listen to podcasts, they gotta care a little bit, right? So, can you remember the day that you met me for the first time?
Yeah.
Will you tell me about it?
I was sitting at your mom's house and you walked in, and that's about all I remember from that day. And then I saw.
My sister,
Well, obviously I asked her who you were because I didn't know who you were.
and she said.
Really? She said you were her brother.
And so,
And of course I had to act like, oh yeah, you have a brother? Why didn't you tell me before now?
what did you think about me when you met me that day?
First of all, I had to get over the shock that they had another sibling that I didn't know about.
Did you think I was good looking?
Yeah. Obviously I'm asking about you, so something was there.
I'm just wondering. I was just wondering if it was love at first sight. I remember that day too. Full disclosure. I don't know if I mentioned this before, but I've been married before. I've been divorced, and then I married again to someone else, obviously. So I was married at that time. But I remember walking in, and I remember seeing you sitting on the couch, and that moment always stuck in my head for some reason. And anytime that I looked at you in the future, different times, I always thought about that day that I met you, and I never got you out of my head. I never understood why. And yeah. And I guess it was love at first sight, and I just didn't know what it was at that time. That's just me. I don't know. I don't know about you. But yeah, that was, as I said, I remember that day. And then I guess really we could just fast forward past like however many years. Good 6 years. Not 10 years, because then it would be, I don't know.
I met your sisters in 2008.
Okay, and then it's now
2019.
So that was 11 years ago. Mm-hmm. So we're just going to go to 2015 because that's really when we started. I was a manager at Dollar General, and I put on Facebook that I was looking for someone to be like my assistant or whatever at work, right? And you saw the Facebook status.
Pretty much.
And so then you messaged me, and I interviewed you, or really not much of an interview. It just basically was catching up or something, right?
Yes.
And which you had a boyfriend, and I don't think I was dating anybody at the time. No. Okay. Yes. No. Maybe. So then we started working together, and we became best friends. Correct?
Yes.
Okay. Well, you fill me in on a little story after this, because it's a lot of me talking. You talk some.
Well, you're just asking me questions while you're talking, so I'm just answering your questions.
Okay, we'll continue this.
Aren't you interviewing me? So that's what interviewing is, right?
I'm not actually interviewing you. This is just you being on the podcast with me. So we're just talking about our relationship and stuff. So anyway, we became best friends, and I quickly fell for you and fell in love with you just being your friend. And I had to hide my feelings for a really long time because we were seeing other people and stuff like that, and just basically hiding our feelings because I was your boss and I wasn't doing a good job of hiding my feelings, I guess, because everybody knew. And then I guess I'll just tell my side of the story, and then you can tell your side of the story. You ended up breaking up with your boyfriend, and then I wasn't dating anybody, and then I guess we basically kissed, and I remember that first kiss. It was in the break room at work. I probably can get fired for this now. I don't have that job anymore, so I can't get fired. But anyways, and then we started dating, but you got a different job, and the rest is history, I guess, because then we got married and have a baby, and now here we are making a podcast, of which I did not force her to be on. I promise I did not. But anyway, would you like to fill in any of that gaps of that story? Yeah. Or just say your side of the story?
pretty much told the story like it is.
Well, what about you? So I said that I had feelings for you for a really long time, and I hid those feelings, and then so whenever I told you about my feelings, were you just shocked and like, oh my God, and then you were like, you have feelings for me, and then you're like, well, I guess I could have feelings for you. Was it something like that, or was what happened on your end?
So no, I was not shocked that you had feelings for me. Kind of knew it.
Okay.
Girls can sense these things.
How long would you say that you knew?
A few years.
Well, that just throws mystery out the window. Did you have feelings for me more than the couple of weeks we were texting before we first kissed?
Yeah.
Okay.
At least a year? I don't know.
So a year.
Roughly.
So you let me suffer in my feelings for over a year before you said anything back?
Yes, I was in a relationship at the time.
You were a very dedicated woman. And then we started dating. And would you say that I am different? Dating me is different than dating anyone else you've been with?
Yeah, because I want to strangle you 90% of the time.
That's not what I'm asking. Because, so what are you saying? Are you saying you never wanted to strangle any of your other people you're with?
No, I want to strangle them too, just not as much as you sometimes. I think it's part of being married.
Does that mean that I am worse for you than everybody else you've been with?
No, we're just two very strong-willed people.
Okay. But, if someone just heard you say that, yeah, I feel like you should just make it sound a little bit better than that, because I feel like that just makes it sound like you want to hurt me more than any other person in the world. Is that what true love is?
From what I gathered, watching other relationships, yes. It is normal for you want to strangle the spouse. Or suffocate them. Or whatever else you can think of. Yes, at times.
I'm glad I have this on record in case I go missing one day. So, anyways, as I was going to say,
Someone would have to figure out how to work your audio. So
this is, well, see, I'm going to put this podcast out, and so people will be able to go back to it. And so,
yeah.
unless I go missing tonight before, I know. But, because you love me, right?
Yes, I do love you.
So, but I guess I meant to say that, I'm kind of a weird person. I'm kind of nerdy, and I'm kind of just strange altogether. Just aside from nerdy, because people are nerdy, and there's people that listen to podcasts that are nerdy, people that do other podcasts are my friends that they're nerdy people, but I feel like I'm also kind of strange because I'm just weird, and just stuff that people don't know, and just how I can be. But I want to talk on the nerdiness because obviously I talk a lot about nerd and geek stuff on the Good Stuff podcast here. Name drop my own podcast on my podcast. What's up? But anyways, see, like that. Why did I do that? I don't know. Anyways, have you dated nerds and geeks like me before?
No.
Is it weird? Was it weird dating someone like me? Do you have to become interested in other things because of me, or what?
No. I'm not changing for nobody. So if I don't like something you're doing, or I don't like something you're watching, or whatever you're into, I'm not going to just fake it till I make it type stuff. Not happening.
Well, see, here's the thing, is people don't know about you, is that I feel like you're kind of nerdy too, and you just don't like to admit it.
Oh, yeah?
Yes, because I feel like, for one, you like Star Wars, correct?
Yeah.
You may like Star Wars more than me. You really like all the Star Wars movies. You watch all the superhero movies with me, and you had watched them before me.
No, I had not.
You didn't watch superhero movies before me?
Well, some of them, but not like Flash and Arrow and all those.
Oh, those are TV shows. Those aren't
I
movies.
didn't watch those.
But now you watch those, and you make sure that we watch those every week, correct?
Yeah, because I got into them.
So, would you say that you were a nerd before me, and our true love brought out who you are as a person. Your true self.
Not necessarily my true self, because I knew who I was before I got with you. However, I have become, like, okay with liking nerd stuff.
Yes.
But I am not a nerd. Far from it.
You just like nerd things. But it's not forcefully fed to you because of me. You like the stuff.
Well, yeah, or I wouldn't watch it.
Okay. I just needed to clear the air on some stuff. Also because this is a podcast where we're supposed to talk. But anyways, so what? I'm sorry. I like to lean. You're my leaning post.
No, I'm not.
But lean on me. No? You know that song? I thought you were singing that song in your head.
Take this out of your podcast.
I'm not. I do not take anything out of my podcast.
Oh, yeah,
I put it all in. I sometimes take out the sometimes I don't do it. It just really depends. If they're like that, then I would. But if there's like I say in the middle of a sentence, I mean I'm not gonna like try to get that. I just when there's spaces and there's Sometimes I don't do that because that would require a lot more editing, and I am really lazy on editing because my time is precious and I can't waste it.
Precious doing absolutely nothing right now.
Yes, I'm paid video game player right now until we figure out what's wrong with me and I go back to work. I love it when you insult me like that. Do it again.
It wasn't an insult. I was just saying you're not doing anything right now. Work related. This is true.
So, I have a quiz here that we are going to take, and it is a quiz that's going to tell us what superhero couple we are. How excited are you? Oh, I got a credit one bank offer. I should totally fill that out. Get a credit one bank card. Pulling this up here now. But guys, I found this superhero couple quiz. And anyways, so we ready? Question number 1. Oops, it skipped. Would you two ever have kids?
Well, that's a good one.
It says, maybe, who knows? I don't know if one of us is ready. I don't think we would be good parents, or, oh yeah, we love kids. I'm just going to go ahead and go, oh yeah, we love kids. Okay.
Yeah.
How many kids do we have?
4 total.
And their names and ages.
I think you already know this, considering they're your kids too, but Bronx is 8. Would you stop taking the microphone away? Bronx is 8. Maverick is 5. Riker is 6. And Phoenix is almost 1.
They also know, the listeners, because they have their own thing, Hoodies On Life. Which you probably will listen to at the end of this episode. As always, we try to end the episodes with Hoodies On Life because the kids are hilarious. Riker's the funniest one. Number 2, how did you two first spend time together?
Working.
We met at work. We just randomly met. He was someone I tried to help, or we met in a bar.
Met at work.
Okay.
Or spent time at work, whatever.
Have you two ever kept secrets from each other? Of course, that comes with the territory. Yes, we don't trust each other much. Well, one of us has, or deed, not really.
One of us has.
So, really?
You have.
How?
Did you surprise me with a proposal if you haven't kept a secret from me?
Oh, yes, this is true. Okay, well, I guess I'll keep that one. But does it really count if it's a proposal secret?
Yes, it's still a secret.
I think it... I don't know. I feel like that... I mean, that's a secret. It has to be kept. I mean, isn't that kept?
Doesn't matter. It still counts.
But wouldn't that mean any guy that proposes to a girl kept a secret from them?
Yep.
So this is a rigged question.
How is it rigged?
Because it's a rig for anyone that couple takes it. If they,
I mean, market is no if that's what you want, but you have kept a secret from me.
we'll just go with, well, one of us has, because I guess it's better. Anyways, since we're on the proposal, can you tell me how I proposed to you, if people didn't already know?
I mean, you want me to tell people?
Yes.
Not you,
Yeah.
considering you were there. We were at a Comic-Con, and the one that goes to Benton. I don't know the official name. Little Rock Comic-Con, as he says. And he planned a fight scene. Oh, let me get it correct. A live-action fight scene. Still a fight scene. And I was to be part of it. And I didn't really want to be a part of it, but he said I had to be. So anyways, I went along with it, and then at the end of the fight, he proposed to me. And it's on Facebook Live under his Gotham Knights page, if anyone wants to watch it.
Or you could just message the page and Good Stuff Podcast page, and then I'll send you the link if you're really lazy. But yep, I did. I planned that fight for months in advance. Me and Dustin, I've actually mentioned that on this podcast before. I think it was nope, they haven't heard that yet because it's an interview for next week. But yeah, I just talked about that the other day with someone. But anyways, now back to this quiz. Number 4, can one of you fly?
No.
Well, of course. No, that would be ridiculous. Are you messing with me? On a plane, maybe.
No, we can have that.
So no, that would be ridiculous. Is that your answer?
Yeah.
Okay. Number 5. How into makeup are you? Not at all. Not so much. Totally into it. I could take it or leave it.
I could take it or leave it.
Okay. Number 6. Do your friends like him? Of course. Yeah, not really. They all think he is bad for me, or they like him okay. I swear to God, this is a question.
I guess they like him okay. I don't really have a lot of friends.
Oh, so we're going to go with they like him okay instead of course.
I don't know.
Do his
Ask my friends.
do his friends like you? Like you? I don't know his friends. Not so much. I don't think he has friends. Or yes, very much.
I would say his friends are like invisible people, but I've met them, so yeah, I guess they like me.
Yes, very much. We'll go with that. How often, that sounded weird when I said, how often do you two go out and party? Not at all, not often, all the time, about as much as anyone else. We're just going to go with not at all because we have 4 kids, obviously. So, do you like bad boys? A, not at all. B, not really. I love them, or they are okay.
What was the question?
Do
the answer? What?
Do you like bad boys was the question. I said, not at all, not really. I mean, doesn't look the same damn thing. I love them, and they are okay. I think not really is like a maybe. We're just gonna. Do you want me to go not at all?
Sure, I don't know.
We'll go with not at all.
Don't think I've really dated bad boys.
Bad boys, bad boys. It's like cops or what? Number 10. Where would you go out to eat? Well, I hope you got a minute because they actually gave you some choices. 4 choices. I know. Olive Garden is not on there, sweetheart.
Chili's?
No, it's a diner, an upscale restaurant, a bar, or a family restaurant.
Obviously a family restaurant.
I mean, you said, we get very little, but we're not complaining. We love our children.
I am totally complaining because I would love romantic dinners.
I gave you a romantic dinner like a week ago.
Yes, it was very sweet with candles lit and some wine and dinner cooked for me. Yes, it was sweet.
Just for out of random was nothing, right?
Nope, wasn't nothing. I guess that could be my Valentine's Day dinner since we have all 4 kids.
No, I have a great stick of gum I got you for Valentine's Day, and it's amazing. It's not that fruit stripe shit. I mean, it's got a lot of flavor. Mm-hmm. It's like Hubba Bubba or something. I don't know. I'd have to check in the Halloween candy bucket. Anyways, number 11. What would he most likely do for work? Work in the news? He doesn't work. He has a trust fund. He isn't that into work or own a small business.
What? None of those fit you.
What would he most likely do? I'm going to say own a small business.
Yeah, probably.
I'll answer it for you. How strong is the man of your pair? Me? Incredibly strong, pretty strong, not that strong, or really strong?
What was the question again?
How strong am I? Incredibly strong, pretty strong, not that strong, or really strong?
Is there an in-between answer on there?
We're going to go pretty strong.
Oh, yeah? That's not what I said.
That's in between. Not that strong, and then pretty strong, and then incredibly strong. This really strong, we're just going to take out because it's like you're either pretty strong, not that strong, incredibly strong. Really strong is like incredibly strong, really strong. That's the same thing. Pretty strong sounds good. Does he have a man cave? What?
No.
What is... Okay, that's one of the answers, so we're just going to go with that. What draw... No, I'm saying that's one of the answers, so you said no flat out, so I'm not even going to say what the choices are because you just answered it. What draws you two together most? Our value system, how we are opposites, I don't know, he just has a hold on me, or our friendship?
Our friendship.
Well, I did say we started off as friends. How kinky are you two in the bedroom? Not at all, very kinky. Not at all, very kinky.
What was the question?
How kinky are you two in the bedroom?
Oh,
I feel like we're playing that 70s dating game or the newlywed game, you know?
Not newlywed.
No, it's the the dating game or the newlywed. It's the newlywed games because it said
Anyways, what are the answers?
Lisa didn't say how much times do you make whoopee a month? That would be the dating game.
Like, when's the freaking what? Thanks to children.
Oh my God. How kinky are you two in the bedroom? Not at all, very kinky, kind of kinky, about average.
Not at all.
Not at all. Okay. I wasn't going to answer it out loud. I was just how loyal are you to him? You're extremely loyal.
What was the last one there that you...
It said, how loyal are you to him? Pretty loyal, not so much. Extremely loyal, or I do my best.
Okay.
Extremely loyal work for you? Okay. It better work for you.
Or
I don't know. I will turn this podcast off and just upset myself. Number 17. Do you two have similar taste in books and movies? Totally the same, not at all. I just listen to whatever he likes, or pretty similar.
What was the voice or the choices?
I'm just going to say pretty similar.
I don't know about all that.
We're just going to go with that.
What was the answer?
What type of music do you...
Go
Ow,
back to
God.
the one.
I'll go back. Jesus Christ, my arm. Do you two have similar taste in books and movies?
I just needed the answer.
Totally the same? Not at all. I just listen to whatever he likes, or pretty similar.
I guess we'll say it's pretty similar.
Cool. Thanks for wasting 30 more seconds of our time. Ow! Ah! Okay. All right. Anyway, going on to question. God. Ow. We're back. What? I'm not gonna edit that one out. What type of music do you listen to? Do you listen to? Spell check your freaking quizzes. Country, pop, punk, or rap? Country it is. Which of these actors do you prefer? Dean Cain, Val Kilmer, Jared Leto, or Mike Coulter?
Do we have an option where I don't know any of those?
Let's just go Dean Cain. Dean Cain was the Superman in Lois and Clark.
Oh.
Val Kilmer was the Batman in Batman Forever. Jared Leto was the Joker in Suicide Squad. And I think Mike Coulter, he plays Luke Cage, if I'm not wrong.
If you're not mistaken.
If I'm not mistaken. Do you want me to go with Dean Cain?
Just choose one, because I don't know what any...
Okay.
any of them
What
look like.
about actresses? Terry Hatcher? She played Lois in Lois and Clark. She was Mon-El's mom on Supergirl.
Okay.
Anne Hathaway, she played Catwoman in The Dark Knight Rises. Margot Robbie, she played Harley Quinn in Suicide Squad. And Kristen Ritter. Don't know who that is.
I guess one of the first two.
We'll go with Anne Hathaway. Princess Diaries. Oh my God, how many questions is here?
You're the one that found it.
How do you two handle conflict? We fight. What sport would you most likely go see together? Football. Which two of you is the alpha?
Me.
I am. No, it's you.
Me.
See, it says he is and I am. So this is like you taking the quiz. Do you ever argue about money?
Yes.
Sure, all couples do. Who usually decides to go out where to eat?
We do together.
We hardly ever go out.
We do too go out.
Okay, it depends.
What are your choices? They're not one that says.
It says he does or I do, he does, it depends. We hardly ever go out.
Oh.
How fashionable are you two?
Oh, what?
How fashionable? Not so much?
Well, I mean, we are fashionable.
About average?
I don't let you go out looking.
Pretty fashionable? About average then?
I guess, yeah.
God, this 26 question. How do people describe your partner? Reliable, mysterious, kind of nuts, or cool?
Kind of nuts.
Oh,
That was from my sister. I'm just saying.
So your sister thinks I'm nuts.
Well, yeah. I mean, she knows who you are.
What kind of show do you two watch together? Thrillers, horror movies, documentaries, or the news?
None of those.
I guess we'll just go with thrillers. Is that with Michael Jackson? How into Halloween are you? Not so much. We like it. We love it. It's okay. I thought it was going to say we like it. We love it. We want some more of it. But it did not. It said it's okay. Which one?
I guess I like it.
We like it. It was a Tim McGraw song, in case you didn't know. Okay. Where would you go on vacation? A theme park? It says that we're Jessica Jones and Luke Cage. You two have a very strong friendship, which is the core of your relationship. Even though you two eventually hooked up and fell in love with each other, that friendship is what keeps you two together and strong. While both of you are strong individuals, you know that you are strongest when you are together.
Pretty much sums it up, I guess.
Oh, that is so sweet. It said that we're Luke Cage and Jessica Jones. I'm Luke Cage. Means I'm a really strong black man. And you're this, you're pretty much you. But without superpowers. But yeah.
You're a black guy. That's funny.
Anyways, so, there is a lot of other superhero couples, which let's see, there's Superman and Lois Lane, it's Batman and Catwoman, Batman and Wonder Woman, Barry and Barry is the Flash, Barry and Iris, Superman and Wonder Woman. Oh, that's weird. It was a weird coupling. But yeah, I did not know that Luke Cage and Jessica Jones would be what it said. Is there any couple that you think about when you think about us?
No.
Because we're one of a kind. Correct?
And this is the nerdiness coming out, folks. I'm just letting you know. I'll let him show it all himself. I don't even have to talk.
I'm amazing, I know. But anyway, I guess I've kept you on here longer than I thought I'd be able to hold you on to. Luckily, I did that quiz. And so I just want to thank you for coming on the podcast. Is there anything you would like to say to my listeners before you go? I'll take that as a no.
I don't know what to say. I don't know what to tell your listeners other than...
What about me? Do you think the people don't know that it'll be... No, but that's not negative. But you just want to say last words about your wonderful husband. At maybe how I'm a good husband or something. I don't know. You take your pick.
Well, since being off work, he's been a really good house husband. Stay-at-home dad, whatever you want to call it. Cleaning my house. Taking care of the kids. feeding me, keeping me clothed. We shall see what it's like when he goes back to work, though. I'm gonna miss it probably.
Maybe I learned some lessons from this time. But anyways,
What?
I said maybe I've learned some lessons from this time.
You think?
Maybe. We'll see. But
Don't let it fool you guys. He will go back to me having a gripe at him.
probably. Anyways, thanks for coming. I want to thank my wonderful wife for taking time out of her busy night schedule of watching TV to do my Valentine's Day episode with me. We recorded that last night, the day before Valentine's Day. And yeah, I honestly didn't think I was going to able to get her on the podcast, but I literally just thought about it in my head. And I was like, hey, will you do this podcast with me? And she said, yeah. And like I said that, and she did it, and I was really surprised. But thank you so much, Lacey. I love you more than words, more than I can describe in simple language. If you'd like to see, as she said, how I proposed to her, you can see that on the Facebook page of Gotham Knights, facebook.com/Gotham Knights Show. And I might share it on the Gotham Knights or the Good Stuff podcast page. I don't know yet. But yeah, I really love my wife. Y'all really have no idea. She's the best. But yes, let's move right along. This month, February, is Black History Month. And so on each episode this month, I am trying to do Black History Month character spotlights. And if listen to last week's episode, I started off with Black Lightning. And so I will moving on. And I decided to go the Marvel route this week because I figured that I should stay away from DC. I shouldn't do 2 DCs in a row. I should go to Marvel. And I was like, okay, let's think of Black superheroes in Marvel. And I wanted to do a female because it's Valentine's Day, and I just wanted to get I don't know why. What that has to do with Valentine's Day. I just wanted to do a Black female. And of course, Black female is Storm. If you were like, name a Black female superhero in Marvel, you are automatically going to say Storm. Well, I was like, no, I just did Black Lightning, so I don't want to do Storm because they have like electricity powers and stuff. And though hers are completely different than Black Lightning's, I just didn't want to do that. So I went with my second choice, which was Misty Knight. So Misty Knight, first appearance was in Marvel Premiere number 21 in March of 1975. Misty Knight was created by Tony Isabella, who actually also created Black Lightning. So 2 weeks in a row. Good job, Tony. And he also created Luke Cage, but and Arvell Jones. And so Misty Knight, in case you didn't know, once was a New York Police Department rising star in the New York NYPD. And she had her, there was this terrible accident thing, and her right arm got amputated. Well, since this is the Marvel Universe, who fixed it? Tony Stark did. Tony gave her a bionic arm, and the bionic arm could melt liquefied metals, including adamantium. It could freeze stuff, shoots a cryogenic ray out, and also anti-gravity repulsor fields like Iron Man as well. So, and it gave her super strength as well. So she, of course, joined up with superheroes, started doing the whole superhero thing. She's teamed up with several different heroes throughout the comic books since the 70s, including Colleen Wing. Oh my God, can't talk. Colleen Wing formed the Daughters of the Dragon, the superhero, together. And did you know that in 2016 storyline Marvel Civil War, they were approached by Reed Richards and Tony Stark to form a new Heroes for Hire and team, which they had different like Shang Li and I'm sure I'm saying that wrong. Other characters they teamed up with, and their job was to hunt down people who did not want to register themselves in that era of the Marvel Civil War. If you know about Marvel Civil War, which was played out in a movie, the Vigilante Registration Act or whatever it was called at Marvel. And so Misty Knight was part of a team that hunted people down that were running away. So let's see. She's appeared in the Marvel Superhero Squad TV series, which was for children. Bronx used to watch that when he was a kid, or whenever he's still a kid. He's 8. But yeah, whenever he was like 1, 2, 3, stuff like that, when it's just him, he used to watch Marvel Superhero Squad. The Squaddies, man, that was a good cartoon. I remember that. But I guess most people are known as her live action. Know her, Misty Knight, from the live action version, played by Simone Missick, and she made her debut in the first season of Luke Cage. And then since then, she's also been in the Defenders show, and then the second season of Iron Fist. Of course, those shows like Luke Cage and Daredevil and Defenders have all been canceled. So whether we'll ever see those again, her again, is up in the air. Unless Marvel ends up making shows on Hulu, like not animated, but like live action, which rumors are going around about that now. And hopefully we get a Daughters of the Dragon with Colleen, Misty and Colleen doing a show together. And then we'll get Heroes for Hire with Luke Cage and Iron Fist. But maybe they'll just be in the Heroes for Hire show. If they did a Heroes for Hire show, they'd probably have the Daughters of the Dragon in there. They probably want to get their own show. But you never know. In video game form, she has been in Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3, Marvel Heroes, and Lego Marvel Superheroes 2. Other video games as well, but those are just the notable releases. I think many of the mobile games she's been in as well. But Lego Marvel Superheroes 2, you got to play as her. And I think the other ones I mentioned, I don't know if she was playable or just like side character involved with like Luke Cage and stuff like that. But yeah, Misty Knight. As I said, first appearance was Marvel Premiere number 21 back in March 1975. Also, last fun fact, she was mentioned in Marvel Premiere number 20. But then actually appeared in number 21. But yeah, that is this week's Black History Character Spotlight. So, moving on to Comic Books with CK, one of my newest segments that I started doing. Comic Books with CK, which I like to call CB with CK, or CBWCK. And that is, in case you didn't know, comic books have always been a huge deal of my life. Superheroes in general is kind of my forte. Comic books I used to read a lot when I was a kid, and then I kind of slacked off in recent years, kids and stuff like that. You know, money. Kids kind of take all your money. But and I don't stop having children, apparently. So, which is something I do. But yeah, I just recently started getting comic books again. And getting into comic books was probably, I was heavily influenced by Southern Fried Geekery. And I would say. And I got back into comic books, getting comic books every week. And so I decided that I should impart some of my thinkings of comic books. Those guys do a great comic book podcast. I can't say enough good things about them. I figured I'd just, every week, just do a small segment called CB with CK, which tell you my favorite comic book from that I read last week, and which you could probably still get at your local comic book shop, or get it digitally if that's what you have to do. As I said before, right now I'm doing only digital because there's no comic book store in Sheridan, Arkansas. So, therefore, and I can't drive, so I have to get them digitally because all I do is sit at home with my health issues right now. But I give you a recommendation for last week, and then I tell you what comes out this week that just came out on Wednesday, because that's when new comic books come out. So you can go pick that up as well. But yeah, last week, my favorite comic book, which I did not think was going to be, it wasn't the recommendation that I gave, but my favorite comic book from last week was Daredevil #1, written by Chip Zdarsky and Marco. I'm gonna mess this up, guys. Marco Cicchetto is the artist. I'm sure that's pronounced wrong. Sorry. And then Sonny Joe Joe did the colors on that. And but yeah, it was so. I was just so caught up in the storyline. It's Matt is just getting back from. It was just apparently, I don't know what has happened before this, but there was a collision of some sort, and so he was hurt and really bad, and he had to go through like physical therapy and stuff like that of sorts to get back to having normal day blind person life. And so this is just picking up, and so you get to see it has a bunch of flashbacks of whenever he like from his childhood of like before he was blind, and a lot of to do with the priest guy, and I don't know his name, and so you get to see him talking to him, and then like after he's been blind and stuff like that. But anyway, the story is basically him just trying to pick things up. You see him pick up a girl in a bar, and then they're at his house, and then she leaves, and then he has to go. He goes out as Daredevil, and apparently he's not at 100% because just normal thugs. He beats them, but I mean they took him out a lot too, and so like he barely gets away. And so that's just the story. I was just caught up in it, and I didn't realize that. I just flipped to the last page, and I was like, oh, dang, I want to know more. I wanted to see what happens more in the story. But yeah, again, that's just a small rundown. I'm not going to give out a full detailed version of the story. But yeah, go out and get Daredevil #1. My runner-up, if you want another book, and that's not your style, Old Man Quill #1, from Ethan Sack, Robert Gill, and Andreas Mesa. Old Man Quill, they made like they had that Old Man Logan storyline, and then I think they did an Old Man Hawkeye as well, and now we're seeing like Old Man Star-Lord, Old Man Quill #1. But yeah, so the Star-Lord, you get to see it's a future version. I'm not going to tell much about. I'm not going to tell really anything about it, but you should just go pick it up. You get to see a bunch of you get to see Rocket with a cane, so that was pretty funny to me. But yeah, you get to see what happens there. It's totally crazy, and I'm interested to see what happens in this storyline. So go pick up Old Man Quill. But this week, a bunch of new comics coming out this week. I think I got a good 15 comics this week. I don't know. At least a dozen. It wasn't 15. But no, it was quite a bit. Not as big as last week, but one of my favorite things for this week coming out is Wonder Twins #1, written by Mark Russell. Stephen Byrne is the artist on that, and Dan Sharp does the letters. And it's the newest in the Wonder comic imprint that DC has given to Brian Michael Bendis, and it's the latest release under that imprint, Wonder Twins #1, and they bring Zan and Jaina into a modern audience. They're kind of like a comedic thing. If you watch Super Friends and stuff like that, you can see old versions of the Wonder Twins. The Wonder Twin powers activate, and then a fist bump, and Anyway, no, you don't know what I'm talking about. But yeah, so they're alien refugees in this modern take on the Wonder Twins, and they have to juggle between high school and being interns for the Justice League. That's all I know about it. But so far in the Wonder imprint, I haven't been steered wrong. And these younger heroes and stuff like that, I'm really enjoying what I'm getting in this imprint from DC. And so I can't recommend this Wonder Twins #1 enough. So yeah, go out and get that one this week. And, get the new Red Hood Outlaw comic book, because I'm Red Hood, and so you should read my comic book. But yeah, guys, Yeah, that's my CB with CK for this week, guys. I hope you enjoy those comic books. So go out to your local comic book shop. If you're able to drive, there's no reason why you shouldn't go support a local comic book shop. And if not, at least get them digitally and just have your kids start reading comic books too. They got comic books out there for kids, and it's good medium that we should support. And so just do that. But yeah, thanks for letting me talk to you about that. Okay, guys, now we are going to do Hoodies on Life. You know the segment whenever I bring on the hoodies. A combination of Bronx, Riker, and Maverick, my kids, and not Phoenix because she's a baby. But every so often on episodes, or at least almost every episode, last week's episode, they talked about Young Justice, the premiere of Young Justice Season 1, but we had some technical difficulties because Maverick decided to play with the microphone cord, so it didn't record all of it, just record in part, so I had to just take it out of the episode. But anyways, the hoodies are back, all of them, Bronx, Riker, and Maverick. Hey, guys. Everybody say, hey, guys.
Hey, guys. Hi, guys. Hey, Daddy, can we talk about Power Rangers?
You always want to talk about Power Rangers, don't you, buddy?
I hardly even said anything.
And what do you want to talk about?
I want to talk about Young Justice.
But you said you didn't remember any of it.
But you said we want to play a game.
Okay. But if you were going to talk about anything, what do you want to talk about? Didn't you just say Pokemon?
Yeah, I want to talk about Pokemon because my favorite one is Poplio. Who's Poplio? It's a blue Pokemon. Oh, with that guy with the answer. The button nose that looks like a sword.
Riker, what do you want to talk? If you were going to talk about anything, what would you want to talk about?
Spider-Man and Spider-Verse.
Spider-Man and the Spider-Verse, but you're the only person that saw it, so you would be the only one that gets to talk.
It's out, I think.
It's not out yet. It's still in theaters. But anyways, we'll talk about it one time. Okay, yeah, but he'd be the only one talking, and don't you want more of you to talk?
I want to go see it tomorrow, Daddy. Can we go see it tomorrow?
Okay, well, let's get back on track, okay, boys? All right, well, today we're going to play...
Let's talk about SpongeBob.
Okay, we're going to play a game, okay, on Hoodies on Life, okay? And I know we're going to do something different today, and it's called Toss Up, okay? Daddy used to play this game on Entertain Me Arkansas podcast I did with Ryan. All right, and the rules of toss-up is I'm going to give you a category, and then you have to name something. And today's category is superheroes, okay? Yeah, but you only have like 5 seconds to answer, okay? So if I go to you, and you can't just shout out superheroes. So what we'll do is we'll start with Maverick, you say superhero, then I'll move the microphone to Bronx, you gotta say superhero, then I'll move the microphone to Riker, and you gotta say superhero. But if you sit there and you don't say a superhero right away, as soon as the microphone goes in your mouth, I count to 3. Okay? And if you don't, I said 5 earlier, but I meant 3. If you do not give me a superhero in that 3 seconds, or you do one that's already been said, then you're out. Okay? And then it'll be whoever wins, whoever can name the most. Understand?
And I will get a piece of candy, right?
Yes, I'll give a piece of candy to whoever wins. I'll give a sucker too.
And especially to make it...
I said whoever...
Let's get it out of my Valentine box from my Valentine's party, because I have some good candy.
Today's Valentine's Day, right?
Yeah. So I got some good candy. I got to put mine back in my ones.
Oh, well, all you have to do is win the game, and you can get some candy.
Out of my
Okay?
Valentine box.
All right. Are y'all ready? Okay. So we're going to start with Maverick. And Maverick, as soon as remember, guys, so you remember the rules. Don't shout out a bunch of superheroes until the microphone is in front of your face, okay? Any superhero, okay? But you can't say one that's already been repeated, okay? Ready, set, let's play toss-up. Let's try it again. No. Okay, all right. So it's got to be a Marvel or DC superhero, okay? All right, so I'm going to put the microphone in front of your face. Remember, I'm going to count to 3. I'm trying to not let you get out because you almost got out right there at the first, okay? Let's try again. Ready? We'll go.
Batman. Superman. Spider-Man. Batman.
You already said Batman.
Flash. Dang it. Green Lantern.
1, 2.
Robin.
Nope. Good job.
Green Lantern.
Nope. Already been said. 2, 3. You're out.
The Spectre.
The what?
The Spectre.
The Spectre. Okay,
Yeah.
I was
gonna say him. Deadpool.
1.
A Raven.
Okay. 1, 2.
Superman.
He's already been said. You gotta give me an answer right now.
3.
1, 2, 3. Name a superhero. 1.
Beast Boy.
Yeah, excellent. Okay, Rox, you won. You won you said the most superheroes. But guys, guess what? I think I'm proud of all of you for knowing superheroes, and I can't believe you said the Spectre. That was a good job, dude. High five, Bronx. You were definitely a champ. So since the hoodies are great and y'all are awesome, I'm gonna give you all a piece of candy, okay? Does that sound good? Maverick, don't cry. What's wrong? I said I'm gonna give you a piece of candy. Maverick.
He said because he didn't win.
Oh, man.
Whoever wins gets the most candy.
Everybody's getting a piece of candy, dude. Yes. Aren't children great? Well, you've been listening to the Good Stuff Podcast. I want to thank you so much for listening to this Valentine's Day episode 8. I got the hoodies. I want to thank them for playing Toss Up today. Yes, I want everybody say bye.
Yo. Peace out.
I got to calm a kid down and give some candy. Hold on. One last thing. Okay.
Thank you for listening this podcast, and I hope you enjoy it. And it's okay, Mav.
Okay, lost your train of thought. Okay, but anyways, Maverick's crying, so he can't say any last words. Okay, what do you want? Maverick, if you don't stop crying, you can't get a sucker. Okay, last words for Maverick, for Bronx.
I have 2 of my favorite kind of superheroes, Robin and Beast Boy, and Spider-Man.
Okay, that's 3. Anyways, all right, as I said, thank you for listening to the Good Stuff Podcast, episode 8. Make sure that you follow us on Facebook, facebook.com/The Good Stuff Podcast. Then you can just find Good Stuff Podcast on Podbean, Spotify, Stitcher, YouTube, Google Podcast, and iTunes. Any of those, you can heart us, like us, follow us, whichever you have to do on those. Leave us a review on iTunes or our Facebook page. Let us know how we're doing, what you think about the show, what you think about each segment, what segments you want to see. If you want to be a guest, please email us, goodstuffpodcast@yahoo.com. My foot is being tickled by children, so I'm trying to hurry this up. Or send a message to our Facebook page. All right, guys, from me and the hoodies, we thank you. Have a good day, and we'll see you next time. #GoodStuffToday.